Hey guys, welcome to episode 33 of my Dragon Age Origins Let's Play. Last episode we had two locations to choose to head to, and you will notice I headed to neither of them. I went back to Soldier's Peak. I needed to, I had a few more weapons in my bag that I didn't necessarily want to sell, so I was like, screw it, we'll cross over the entire region of Ferelden, because I think I was down at Plymouth Foot or something. And we'll just, we'll just head up to the north to get to Soldier's Peak. Why not? So, I'm sure I've been here before, but we'll work that out later. I have decided that this episode we're heading to the Elves in the Brecilian outskirts, in the Brecilian Forest. I'm sure Arluman will be fine. You know. Totally and utterly fine.
We've been waiting for you, Warden.
Hello. For Lord Harrowmont. Okay. You all got kicked out of Orzammar then, huh? Because, like, why else would you be attacking me? Why else would you be on the surface of this day? Do some stabs. Let's cripple this one. Okay, you guys deal with that. Me and Liliana will deal with this rebel here. You thought you could escape us? You were wrong. I will interrupt you. Yeah, too bad for you. Wayne, why did you come all the way over here? I mean, you know, he's doing fine. He's fine, he's doing amazingly. You're doing so good, sweetie. Okay, let's help with the last one. Well, he's on the floor and can't do anything. Hell yeah. So, yep, there we are. That was easy. Don't know why those dwarves just keep attacking and attacking. But now we're gonna go see the elves and how they live, right?
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly.
I had no idea there were Dalish here. Didn't we know that? Yeah, I've been looking for the Dalish.
I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours?
Do I want to tell the complete truth? I am a Grey Warden. I was to speak to your leader. I was hoping to take advantage of your hospitality. No wonder the Dalish have such a poor reputation. Sylvi, I don't think you've ever talked with anybody about the Dalish. You know, she seemed nice, and this Dalish woman seems nice enough. You know, she's like, I don't want there to be a fight. We were here first. Go away. So let's not agitate her further by saying I will tell that to your leader and no one else. I am a Grey Warden. I am Grey Warden Sylvi, and I wish to speak to your leader.
A Grey Warden? How do I know you're telling the truth?
I don't know how to tell you the truth for that. Many people go about pretending to be Grey Wardens, do they? No, we'll try and persuade her this time. You'll have to take my word on it. I don't have proof.
I suppose that a lie wouldn't gain you much benefit. I shall bring you to the Keeper. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our arrows are still trained on you. Follow me.
I mean, I'd be nervous with this group. You know, we've got a mage and what looks like a Templar.
I see we have guests.
Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
This one claims to be a Grey Warden and wishes to speak with the clan. I thought it best to leave the decision to you.
That was wise of you. Masirnis, Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan.
Zathrian.
Its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
How nice do we want to be? This is the guy in charge, you know. So my name is Sylvi. It is hopefully a pleasure to meet you. You don't need to know who I am.
If you came to bring news of the Blight in the south, it is not needed. I had already sensed its corruption. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not.
Yes, it seems like you've had your own troubles. What are the odds?
I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation.
Well,
Please,
I don't understand
follow me.
why they can't move. Oh, okay. Okay, there's dead and dying elves over here. That makes more sense.
The clan came to the Brecilian Forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us, and though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped, but we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
So, werewolves are real then? Yeah, there are actual werewolves? Does that mean vampires are real as well? Because there's always one and the other. Yeah, there are actual werewolves in the forest.
There was a time in Ferelden's history when werebeasts roamed the land in great
Werebeasts. That
Spirits
implies it's not
possessed
just
animals
wolves.
and turned them into horrific monsters. The humans warred against and destroyed these creatures. No doubt their tales of those days grow ever more inaccurate.
Werewolves are beasts not unlike abominations, possessed wolves driven mad.
The werebeasts are not all gone from this land, and the ones that stalk the Brecilian forests are proof of this.
Do you know why they attacked you? Why these beasts attacked you?
They are savage and unrelenting. They need no reason to attack anyone. What is curious, however, is the ambush. We expect werewolves to be no more cunning than a rabid wolf. The ambush suggests a level of intelligence we've never seen before.
Then maybe they aren't as intelligent as you think?
I doubt that. The very curse that is in their blood fills them with an unreasoning rage that precludes any true thought.
Okay, so he's not going to help us. He's not going to give us any worries to spare, even if he did have some, because why would you have some? Like, obviously the ones that are still, like, living have to defend the camp. So, once again, it's I help you and then you help me. So, is there no way to help your men?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself. And that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
Really? Oh my god, yes. Sylvi, you read my mind. Like, oh my gosh. Both of these options are so good. I am good at non-trivial tasks because we are by now. We've been to the circle and we've stopped all the mages from being killed. We've, freed up the corruption. We've killed the demon that was taking over Redcliffe. We've helped put the King of Orzammar on the throne, and now we're gonna have to face werewolves. So yeah, I'm good at non-trivial tasks, but I also like option number 2. But you're going to ask me to get it anyway, right? This is our first conversation. We should still try and be slightly polite, but also a bit sarcastic. So I'm good at non-trivial tasks, my dude.
Within the Brecilian Forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven
So
too
you've
dangerous for
come
us.
here like
I sent
a
some hunters
month
into the forest
before.
a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
You've been here for like, what did you say, a couple of months? And then you know all this already, like you know about this Witherfang. You said you could perhaps destroy the curse?
There is no guarantee that this will work, as I suspect. But it's the only hope we have left.
Have you considered seeking outside help? That's what he's doing. He's asking us. Yeah, I don't think if he could have moved all his people out, he could maybe, you know. Yeah, okay, I'll find this Witherfang for you.
I must warn you that more
Dude,
than werewolves
seriously.
lurk in the Brecilian Forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder.
Do you want my help
Where
or
there
not?
is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin.
He's like, I need your
allowing
help.
spirits to possess
Okay,
things,
it will be
living or dead.
dangerous. Yeah,
But if
okay.
you can indeed help,
It will be
then I
very
wish you luck.
dangerous. Okay, I have some questions for you.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Sayrel, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
Tell me more about this curse the hunters suffer from.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
So did all werewolves everywhere stem from Witherfang?
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
So if a werewolf bites me, then I will become infected? I doubt it. We're already infected by the blight.
It is possible, but not guaranteed. The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
How do you know if you've been infected by the curse?
You will know within a matter of days. You will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly, your temper will become wild and uncontrollable.
Oh.
If that happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission at that point will be rather personal.
How did this curse start?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Sayrel about it if you wish.
Okay. Bite my head off, why don't you?
Go on then.
How do I find Witherfang? Do you have any advice?
Watch for the white wolves. They are his eyes and ears in the forest.
So I should go then.
I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
So we've got Witherfang. Witherfang is, according to Keeper Zafrian, a wolf. He is no ordinary wolf, however. He is a wolf possessed by a powerful spirit and the source of the werewolf curse that plagues the Brecilian Forest. While Witherfang is hundreds of years old and very powerful in his own right, the only way to end his curse is to cut out his heart and bring it to Zafrian. Keeper Zafrian. Even with all our magic and skill, we only delay the inevitable. It is said the elves lived in the forest, lived in Ferelden long before any others set foot there, and though most of their knowledge has been lost, it falls to the keeper of each clan to preserve what they have. Zafrian is an old, severe elf with little love for outsiders, but his clan is facing a more trying enemy than most. Excuse me, he didn't seem like that he didn't like outsiders. He was just like, you know, we're in the middle of something. Why have you brought these people to me? Oh, we've got a lot of people here. Hello. So yeah, we've got slay with a fang and bring his heart to Zathrian. Hopefully it'll just be that easy. Dalish boots. Elfroot, my love, I missed you. I've always missed you. Okay. And then, hello. What's this? Coloured inks? Valison, blood writing. Ooh. Brecilian blood writing. When the children of our people come of age, they earn the privilege of wearing the Brecilian, the blood writing. It sets us apart from the Shemlin and from the elves who have thrown their lots in with them. It reminds us that we will never again surrender our traditions and beliefs. The ritual deserves great reverence. The one who is to gain the Brecilian must prepare by meditating on the gods and the ways of our people, and by purifying the body and the skin. When the time comes, the keeper of the clan applies the blood writing. This is done in complete silence. Cries of pain are signs of weakness. If one cannot tolerate the pain of the blood writing, they are not ready to undertake the responsibilities of an adult. The keeper may stop the ritual if they decide that one is gaining the Brecilian is not ready. There is no shame in this, for all children are different, and our ancestors once took centuries to come of age. As told by Gishuel, keeper of the Brecilian clan of the Dalish Elves. Okay. Let's talk to this dude. It seems you've got a quest for me, Athras.
Andaranatician, stranger. I am Athras. I hope the others have not been too harsh.
You're the first guy we've talked to? Yeah, I don't mind, I understand.
That is very generous of you. Most would assume we are unkind as a rule, and that is not the case.
I mean,
Especially
I've talked
not
to
a
3
Grey
people
Warden.
and they all seem nice.
But we have lost much, and it is easy to forget simple niceties at such a time. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Brecilian Forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me.
I mean, you know, you look a bit old. You don't seem very happy about that.
None of us are happy about this situation, and I least of all. But I shouldn't speak too much about this, especially with an outsider. I am sure you have little interest in my problems.
Little to no interest, actually, just passing the time. I like listening to all people's problems, dude. I help everybody I come across. I am a nice person, okay? So please, I would like to hear about it.
It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can.
Sometimes it's easier to talk to
My
a
wife
stranger.
Dalilah and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Dalilah is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her. If I could just know if Dalilah is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
I'm sorry, that's terrible.
Masiranas, thank you. The Keeper means well, but I must discover the truth for myself. If you are in the forest, perhaps you might come across her, alive or dead. Any news would be better than none. And in return, I would be happy to gift you an amulet made by our craftsman. It may fetch you some coin in the human lands.
Ooh. She's probably dead, you know. Let's not do anything like that. You know, we met Filda, and she was like, "Hey, my son Rook is in the Deep Roads," and we were all like, "Well, he's probably dead, isn't he?" And guess what? Wasn't dead. So I will see what I can do.
Since we seem to be heading into the forest anyhow, that does seem to be the right thing to do.
You are most kind.
Thank you for your input, Alistair. I should go.
Please, should you come across my wife, return and tell me.
Why would you... What was that for? Why would you just, like, interrupt the conversation? June, gods of the craft, or god of the craft. We dedicate all our crafts to June, for it is he who taught the people to bend the branches of the trees, to make our bows, and to fashion coverings of fir and iron bark. Without June would we have the Aravel, or the harnesses for our Hala? When the people were young, we wandered the forest without purpose. We drank from streams and ate the berries and nuts that we could find. We were nothing, for we had no knowledge of spinning or needlecraft. We shivered in the cold nights and went hungry through the winters when all the world was covered in ice and snow. Then Sylvi, the housekeeper, came and gave us fire and taught us how to feed it with wood. June taught us to fashion bows and arrows and knives so that we could hunt. We learned to cook the flesh of creatures we hunted over Sylvi's fire, and we learned to clothe ourselves in their furs and skins, and the people were no longer cold and hungry. As told by Giselle, keeper of the Brecilian clan of the Dalish Elves. I'm gonna say that name wrong every time I have to say it. Just letting you know. Landmark tree. Okay. Hello all people in this corner. I see some elf fruit. And more elf fruit. Oh, nope, not ready to go yet. I had a heart attack doing that. Oh, look at this dog. I thought it was a real dog then. Fenharrow the Dread Wolf. That is what the Dragon Age 4 is going to be called, right? Dread Wolf. Oh, I don't know why I did that. There is precious little we know about Fenharrow, for they say he did not care for our people. Elganan and Mythol created the world as we know it. Andruel taught us the ways of the hunter. Silas and June gave us fire and crafting, but Fenharrow kept to himself and plotted the betrayal of all the gods. And after the destruction of Arthalan, when the gods could no longer hear our prayers, it is said that Fenharrow spent centuries in the far corner of earth, giggling madly and hugging himself in glee. Well, that's an image. The legend says that before the fall of Arthalan, the gods we know and revere fought an endless war with others of their kind. There is not a Haran among us who remember these others. Only in dreams do we hear whispers the names of Geldoran and Darnthal and Anareth, for they are the forgotten ones, the gods of terror and malice, spite and pestilence. In ancient times, only Fenharrow could walk without fear among both our gods and the forgotten ones, for although he is king to the god of the people, the forgotten ones knew of his cunning ways and saw him as one of their own. And that is how Fenharrow tricked them. Our gods saw him as a brother, and they trusted him when he said they must keep to the heavens while he arranged a truce. And the forgotten ones trusted him also when he said he would arrange for the defeat of our gods, if only the forgotten ones would return to the abyss for a time. They trusted Fenharrow, and they were all of them betrayed, and Fenharrow sealed them away so they could never again walk among the people. From the tale of Fenharrow's triumph, as told by Giselle, keeper of the Brecilian clan of the Dalish Elves. Okay. Not a nice dude. Hey, come in.
Hello?
Hello yourself. I'm here talking to you because you had an exclamation mark across your head. Hello yourself. Who are you?
I'm Kamen, a hunter apprentice. Though I wish I could become a real hunter.
Good luck with that, I should go. Why can't you?
I shouldn't be talking about this to an outsider. You wouldn't understand.
Tell me before I kick your head in. Oh my gosh, Sylvie, no. Try me, I might surprise you.
I suppose there's no harm in it. It's not like you can help me.
Ouch.
I've been an apprentice for too long. To become a true hunter, I must bring back the pelt of the beast I killed myself. A boar or wolf or something.
I wanted to hunt in the forest, but we're forbidden to enter because of the attack. But the real problem is Gaina.
Whoa, look at this blooming cutscene. Girl problems, I see.
She's my heart's desire. I have asked for her hand, but she cruelly refuses it. She will not bond with an apprentice, she says, and calls me a child. I am no child. If I was a hunter, I could prove it, but I cannot hunt, and Gaina will never bond with me. I feel so helpless. I shouldn't have brought it up. Just leave me to my misery.
Okay. I mean, I feel absolutely... I mean, I feel a little sympathy for you, I guess, but... Dude, there are werewolves in the forest. Have you seen your warriors? They're in bed, they're in pain, they're bleeding. I mean, these are the ones that you managed to bring back. I don't know how many have died in the forest. And you're complaining because there's this little girl? Little girl? Why did I say little girl? You know, Gaina's right. She has a right to say no to you. Why am I so up in arms about this little boy? You are a little boy. She's not a little girl. You're a little boy. Can I ask you some questions?
I don't think there's anything I can tell you. My clanmates in the camp would be better at that.
I never thought I'd ever set foot in a Dalish camp.
What is that? Cameron is in love with Gaina, but she won't agree to a bonding until Cameron has completed his hunt. Cameron needs to hunt and kill a beast of the forest and bring back his help. I don't want to, like, do something like that there. Can I talk to Gaina? Where is Gaina? In the cutscene, it implied that she was pretty close. Is she over here? Yeah, there she is. We'll go talk to her in a minute. Oh, hey, Sarah, huh? You've got a name, let's talk to you.
We greet you, child of the stone. I understand you are to venture into the haunted forest to save our brethren.
I
I
am.
suspect your efforts may be in vain. An entire group of our hunters went into the forest to do as you intend. And
I
they
mean,
have not
I
returned.
traversed through the deep roads to find one woman. I think I can manage this. If I'm lucky, maybe I can find them.
An outsider to the rescue, but of course.
Well,
What were we
fuck you,
doing
dude.
Trying to solve our own problems.
Yeah, you think sarcasm is going to help, do you?
Nothing will help us now. Least of all, the meddling of an outsider.
You are being most unkind, Cyril. Would you refuse our hunter's help simply because of the hand that offered it?
You shame me, Lethalan. I have allowed my bitterness to cloud my better judgment. Forgive me, Grey Warden. It is most difficult to forget the lessons the Shemlin have taught us. Perhaps I can yet make amends. Stay while I spin a tale for our children. And then I will tell you of the forest if you desire.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Come and join us then, all of you.
Let's have story time, huh?
Now, what say we tell the story of the fall of the Dales? Which of you children knows that best?
I think I do.
Yes? Then come, child. Oh, don't be frightened of the outsiders. Now, where do you suppose such a tale should begin?
When we were slaves?
Yes. Long ago, our people were slaves to an empire the Shemlin had built on the darkest magic. They took away our history and our language and left us nothing. And then that empire fell. We were freed.
Because Andraste came with her army, and Shartan joined her.
Yes. Andraste, the Shemlin prophet, came out of the south and challenged the Tevinter Imperium. Our ancestor, Shartan, fought at her side. And when the rebellion came to an end, we were given a new homeland in the west, the Dales. We began to rebuild the culture and history we had lost in our years of slavery. We worshipped the creators and made the Dales our home. Perhaps you know what happened next, stranger.
It probably
Do you know what
didn't end
happened
well.
to the Dales?
I'm guessing you were invaded by the humans. I don't personally know.
Indeed. They resented that we would not worship their maker and they resented our ways because they were so different.
That is a bit
The Shemlin nations grew cold.
ignorant, isn't it? Especially seeing as
blasphemers.
Andraste was one that like helped give them the homeland.
The Great Crusade.
You know, I don't. I don't like any of these options, but yeah, I'd probably say it's a war that you started, I'm told. You know, obviously the winners would say that.
Told by whom?
Yeah.
A history
Yep.
that has been dictated by the victors, no doubt.
Continue, I'd like to hear your side.
I am certain we played a part in our downfall. We believed that the Shemlin would not revoke their prophet's gift so lightly. We were wrong. They took our lands, forcing us to abandon our gods and live as beggars in Shemlin cities. But there were those of us who refused to abandon our ways. They emblazoned the symbols of the creators upon their flesh and vowed to keep their ancient lore alive.
That's us. That's the Dalish.
Indeed, child. We chose to wander, homeless, rather than be ruled by the Shemlin. And all our clans wander alone until the day we have a homeland once more.
Then we bring the old ways back to our people, because they have forgotten it all.
We are the Dalish, the keepers of the lost lore.
The walkers of the lonely path.
We are the Elvenine, and never again shall we submit. And that is the tale of the Dales, stranger. Thank you for allowing us to tell it to you.
Why would I want to tell a story? I mean, would any of you be interested in one somehow? Thank you, I enjoyed it very much.
Perhaps one day you
Oh.
will tell us a tale of your people. A day when you are not guest and stranger,
Fair enough.
but savior. Now, as I said I would, I can tell you what I know of the Brecilian Forest. Do you wish to hear it?
Yes, please tell me of the forest, my man.
Our legends say that before the Shemlin came, the Brecilian Forest was a place of our ancestors that predated even our oldest homeland. The people of the Imperium came here and gave the forest its name. If they found traces of our ancestors, we cannot say. If they did, those elves were slain or enslaved. We know only that a great many battles were fought here. These trees grow upon the graves of those who fell, Shemlin and elves both.
What does this have to do with the werewolves then?
So much death in one place tore the veil into the beyond. The Shemlin know the beyond as the Fade, the place of dreams and spirits. When the veil is torn, spirits pass into our world freely. The legends say that one great spirit possessed the wolf that became Witherfang, who passed its curse of rage onto men and created werewolves.
I wonder how close werewolves are actually to werewolves in our folklore. Because it's not wolves that become like werewolves, it's humans that become werewolves. I cannot remember. Let's have a look. So there are many spirits in the forest now.
The forest is said to be haunted. Spirits possess the trees, the wolves, even the bodies of the dead. They yearn for true life, you see.
And this Witherfang still exists today.
So Zathrian insists. He says that Witherfang does not age.
So Zathrian is supposedly the only person who's seen Witherfang?
As it is beast, and thus it is immortal. Perhaps it cannot even be slain. At the very least, it is old and powerful, much as Zathrian himself.
What does that mean? Old and powerful, much as Zathrian himself. I don't like the way you said that. There were battles in the forest?
Who can say what value the Imperium placed on this land? And how many elves died here, in slavery? Even the barbarians, who came to overthrow the Imperium, fought and died on this soil.
And do you guys have any idea how many werewolves there are?
No one knows. When the Shemlin lived in these parts, the curse would spread anew to a few of them with each passing year. They would run off into the forest, never to be seen again. Eventually, all the Shemlin left. One assumes the werewolves survive by passing their curse to their offspring. They have had no new blood, Until now, that is.
Have the hunters become werewolves?
It is said that 1 or 2 have turned already, though the Keeper denies it. As for the rest, they will either die or turn, unless they are killed out of mercy. I would rather die than become a ravening, soulless beast. Wouldn't you?
I'm not even going to answer that. That's all I need to know.
One last warning. The forest is like a thing alive. It changes as it wills, closing paths behind you and opening up new ones. Too many have become lost within, unable to find their way out. Were I you, I would endeavor not to make the forest my enemy.
I will keep that in mind. How many codexes did I get for that? 4? 5? Wow, I didn't feel like he took that long. But yeah, the Brecilian Forest. There are places in the Brecilian Forest where the veil is so thin, the distance between awake and dreaming is next to nothing. In one such place, a wood-shaper was born under such unfortunate stars that his mother named him Abelas, which means sorrow, and he lived up to his name. He could keep no apprentices and lost his stock of bows in mishap after mishap, until finally he had nothing. The rest of the clan began to fear that his ill luck would harm them too, and whispered among themselves to cast him out. Abelas heard them and resolved to change his luck, and so went into the forest alone to seek a suitable tree from which to make bows. At last he spied a young rowan growing beside a stream. He drew his axe, and the tree cried out in fear, begging to be spared. But Abelas said, "If I do not take your life, mine will surely end." With 2 strokes he felled the tree. From the tree he made the finest 3 bows he had ever crafted. Pleased, Abelas returned to the camp and gave his bows to the hunters at once. By nightfall, however, the camp was in an uproar. The hunters had returned with the braces of hares which, when cut open, revealed only worms and sawdust. The elder said it was a sign that the hunters had robbed some spirit of its host, for it is well known that spirits do not go about the waking world on their own, but inhabit another creature's body. The elder worked a charm to banish the spirit back to the Fade, and the clan went to sleep hungry. The next day the hunters brought back a doe, and again the beast bled sawdust. Now the clan began to fear the spirit would starve them, and wondered what they had done to deserve it. Abelas came forward then and told them of the rowan tree. The elder considered for a long time before declaring that they must replace what Abelas had taken from the spirit. So he sent the hunters to dig up a rowan sapling and bring it living to the camp. There the elder ordered the sapling planted and appealed to the spirit for forgiveness. There was a terrible sound then, as if the whole forest were crying out in protest. Darkness fell upon the camp, though it was only just past midday, and when the darkness passed a rowan grove, every tree bearing the frozen face of a terrified elf, stood where the camp had been. From then on it was forbidden in every clan to cut living trees in Brecilian Forest. The spirits know nothing of forgiveness. The Rowan Grove, a Dalish tale, from Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. So the Dales. Many forgot that when Holy Andraste called out to the oppressed people to rise up, it was the elves who first answered her. The humblest slaves of the Imperium became her vanguard, and when victory came they were rewarded accordingly. They were given a land in what is now the south of Orlais called the Dales. A great exodus of elves undertook the journey to their new home, crossing ocean, desert and mountain. Their city, the first elven city since the fabled Arthalon, was called Halam Shual. A new era had begun for the elves. But the old era wasn't through with them. In their forest city, the elves turned again to worship their silent, ancient gods. They became increasingly isolationist, posting emerald knights who guarded their borders with jealousy, rebuking all efforts at trade or civilized discourse. Dark rumors spread in the lands that bordered the Dales, whispered of humans captured and sacrificed to elven gods. And then came an attack by the elves, and the defenseless village of Red Crossing. The Chantry replied with the exalted march of the Dales, and the era of the Elven Kingdom came to an end. Halam Shiral was utterly destroyed, the elves driven out, scattered, left to survive on goodwill alone. From Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. And yeah, like that Elven guy was saying, this is from the winners. This is what they say. This is their reason for why they did it. You know, and I don't see anything about proof. You know, I've got rumours, dark rumours spread in the lands that bordered the Dales, whispered of humans captured and sacrificed to elven gods, but there's no proof there. You know, it's just what they used as a reason. So, Arthalon, Part 1. Before the ages were named or numbered, our people were glorious and eternal and never changing. Like the great oak tree, they were constant in their traditions, strong in their roots, and ever reaching for the sky. They felt no need to rush when life was endless. They worshipped their gods for months at a time. Decisions came after decades of debate, and an introduction could last for years. From time to time, our ancestors would drift into centuries-long slumber, but this was not death, for we know they wandered the fade in dreams. In those ages, our people called all the land Elvenan, which in the old language means place of our people, and at the centre of the world stood the great city of Arthalan, a place of knowledge and debate where the best of the ancient elves would go to trade knowledge, greet old friends, and settle disputes that had gone on for millennia. But while our ancestors were caught up in their forever cycle of ages, drifting through life at what we today would consider an intolerable pace, the world outside the lush forest and ancient trees was changing. The humans first arrived from Parvalon to the north. Called Shemling or Quicklings by the ancients, the humans were pitiful creatures whose lives blinked by in an instant. When they first met the elves, the humans were brash and warlike, quick to anger and quicker to fight, with no patience for the unhurried pace of elven diplomacy. But the humans brought worse things than war with them. Our ancestors proved susceptible to human diseases, and for the first time in history, elves died of natural causes. What's more, those elves who spent time bartering and negotiating with humans found themselves aging, tainted by the humans' brash and impatient lives. Many believed that the ancient gods had judged them unworthy of their long lives and cast them down among the quicklings. Our ancestors came to look upon humans as parasites, which I understand is similar to the way humans see our people in the cities. The ancient elves immediately moved closer to Elvenan, off from the humans, for fear that this quickening would crumble the civilization. The fall of Arthalon is told by Gishalal, keeper of the Valthuran clan of the Dalish Elves. So Arthalan Part 2, you ask what happened to Arthalan. Sadly, we do not know. Even those of us who keep the ancient lore have no record of what truly happened. What we have are accounts of days before the fall and a fable of the whims of the gods. The human world was changing even as the elves slept. Clans and tribes gave way to a powerful empire called Tevinter, which, and for what reason we do not know, moved to conquer Elvenan. When they breached the city, our people, fearful of disease and the loss of immortality, chose to flee rather than fight. With magic, demons, and even dragons at their behest, the Tevinter Imperium marched easily through Arthalan, destroying homes and galleries and amphitheaters that had stood for ages. Our people were corralled as slaves, and human contact quickened their veins until every captured elf turned mortal. The elves called to their ancient gods, but there was no answer. As to why the gods didn't answer, our people left only a legend. They say that Fenharel, the Dread Wolf, and Lord of the Tricksters approached the ancient gods of good and evil and proposed a truce. The gods of good would remove themselves to heaven, and the lords of evil would exile themselves to the abyss, neither group ever again to enter the other's lands. But the gods did not know that Fenharel had planned to betray them, and by the time they realized the Dread Wolf's treachery, they were sealed in their respective realms, never again to interact with the mortal world. It is a fable to be sure, but those elves who travel the beyond claim that Fenharrow still roams the world of dreams, keeping watch over the gods lest they escape from their prison. Whatever the case, Althalan, I can't say that name, has fallen to the humans our very people had once considered mere pests. It is said that the Tevinter Magisters use their great destructive power to force the very ground to swallow Althalan whole, destroying eons of collected knowledge, culture, and art, the whole of elven lore left only to memory. The fall of Althalan, as told by Gisharal, keeper of the Valathran Khan of the Dalish Elves. How did we get like all these codexes from that guy? Like, he barely talked about any of this. Okay, so the Dalish Elves. I took the road north from Valroyo towards Navarra with a merchant caravan. A scant 2 days past the Elysian border, we were beheaded by bandits. They struck without warning from the cover of the trees, hammering our wagons with arrows, killing most of the caravan guards instantly. The few who survived the arrow storm drew their blades and charged into the trees after our attackers. We heard screams muffled by the forest and then nothing more of those men. After a long silence, the bandits appeared, elves covered in tattoos and dressed in hides. They looted all the supplies and valuables they could carry from the merchants and disappeared back into the trees. These, I was informed later, were the Dalish, the wild elves who lurked in the wilderness on the fringes of settled lands, preying upon travellers and isolated farmers. These wild elves have reverted to the worship of their false gods and are rumoured to practice their own form of magic, rejecting all human society. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genetivi. Okay, so who else have we got to talk to? Let me have a look. Oh, let's move. I accidentally switched that off, never mind. So, let me have a look. Where am I? I've come this way. This is the way I came back, so it's this way I need to head. Let's talk to Gaina. Let's see what she has to say about that dude. Hey.
Andiran Atishan, outsider.
Hi, can you answer some questions?
I am not sure what I can tell you, but I shall try.
Tell me about the forest.
You would be best to speak to Seyrel. He is our storyteller and knows
Oh
far
yeah,
more
I
of
did talk
such
to him,
tales.
right? What can you tell me about Zathrian?
Zathrian? He has been our keeper since long before my parents' parents were born. What could you wish to know about him?
I'm interested in what a keeper is exactly.
He keeps us safe, and he keeps the knowledge of our people safe, so we may bring it to all of our people one day.
But where does he get this knowledge?
From the other clans. And from the artifacts we uncover in our travels. Everywhere the old empire was, so went their slaves. Pieces of our past lie everywhere.
Bring it all to your people?
To the Flat Ears, those who live with the humans. When we have a new homeland to settle in, we shall teach all elves the ways they have forgotten.
I have another question about Zathrian.
Yes.
Just how old is he exactly?
I don't know. Very old. It is said that Zathrian may be one of the first to become as our ancestors were long ago, immortal.
But how could that be? Why him and not others?
We all live longer than the Flat Ears, the elves who live with humans. The Keepers even more so because of their knowledge of the old ways.
Oh, really?
Why Zathrian differs from the others, I do not know. Perhaps he has been blessed by the creators.
Perhaps. I want to know something else.
What is that?
You're Gaina, correct? Cameron mentioned you.
You spoke to him? What did he say?
He said that you refused to give him your hand.
Oh. expect an outsider to understand
But do you
our
want
ways,
to bond
but
with him? That's what I want to
can't
know.
bond with Kamen. He's been a hunter apprentice for over 2 years now, and he's yet to slay a proper beast. Each time he's tried, something has gone wrong. Perhaps the creators do not wish us to bond. I cannot bond with an apprentice hunter, can I?
If you love him, it doesn't matter what he is, does it?
But what if he never becomes a proper hunter? What will become of our family?
Why does everything depend on him?
You are right. As a woman, I must ensure that he believes in himself. All I've done is make him miserable. I know I cannot be like you, both woman and Grey Warden, but I can be formidable in my own small way, can't I? Masiranas, thank you. You have helped me put this into perspective. I will go and speak to Kamen.
Okay, that ended well. She seemed to like him.
I have been a fool.
Gaina? What do you mean? Have you changed your mind?
I have. The outsider has helped me to see that I was wrong. I have made you miserable, and I should not have.
But what about my hunt?
I don't care about that. I know you will pass your hunt in time, and we will be happy. Us and our children.
Thank you, Gaina. You've made me a happy man. I feel blessed by the gods today.
No, I don't want to see that. No. Ugh. It was.
We are both very grateful for
That's the first kiss of Dragon Age Origins.
How marvelous you are. I am so happy. This is so wonderful. Young love allowed to flourish.
Here, take this. It's been in my family for a very long time, but I hope it plays some part in your battle against the Darkspawn. It's the very least we could do.
Well, we got Liliana's approval. The Tale of Ilorin. In the days after the rising of Zazakel, the Dark Ones covered every corner of the land. The Archdemon drove all the nations of the world before him, Shemlin and Elvlin alike. In the far north, where the hills wander, the plains and the earth is eternally baked beneath the uncaring sun, the lands which Shemlins call Anderfels, a clan of our people lived, struggling to survive the blight. Ilorin was their keeper, a hunter in his younger days, crafty as any wolf. He led his people always just ahead of the Darkspawn who chased them, but the old hunter knew that even Hala cannot run forever. They must turn and fight or be run down. At the foot of the Madain, the Darkspawn cornered Ilorin's clan. That night the moon was strangled by clouds, the earth concealed by a dread mist that rose out of nowhere, so that the Elven could not tell up from down. In the confusion, the Darkspawn attacked, but Ilorin had prepared for them. All around the camp, the hunters had strewn dry grass and brambles. When the sound of rustling footfalls began, Ilorin and the other Harren called upon the old magic. They struck out with lightning, and though the bolts missed the Darkspawn, they hit their target all the same. The sea of kindling lit, and not one of the dark creatures made it through the fire to reach Ilorin's clan. From the tale of Ilorin written by Zathrian, as it has been passed down from keeper to keeper for generations. Okay, thank you, dude. So yeah, we got Liliana's approval, we got a little achievement doing that. So, you know. Hey little girl, we're here to loot your chest. And I believe there's one over here, behind Sol. Oops.
Please leave that be. If you have need of equipment, I am sure Master Verathorn can help you.
Oh, sorry, I'll leave it alone then.
Masiranas.
Yes, I'm still here.
You know, it's just... I've never not been allowed...
My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind mind if I ask you a question or two?
Can I ask you a question? Are you voiced by the same person who voices Ashley Williams in Mass Effect? Because your voice sounds very familiar, and that's the first thing it went to. Yeah, but fair enough, you can ask your questions if you're not going to answer that one. If you like, go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large. Thousands upon thousands of souls, all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
Yes, some are larger than the eye can see.
How very loud that must be with everyone talking all at once. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
It isn't an easy life for them, that's true.
I suppose you have met many of my kind in your travels.
Not that many, actually.
My heart goes out.
We tried to go into the alien
It
age,
is said
but
that
we
one
couldn't.
day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have one more question, though I'm not sure you can answer it. Do the humans ever regret what they did to us?
Yeah, I really can't tell. I haven't seen anything.
I understand. One cannot expect to see the questions of
Yeah.
history answered on human faces.
I doubt it,
A
because
poet
to them
once
it's
wrote
like,
of
well,
them
I didn't do
before
it,
the
my
fall of the
ancestors did
Dales.
it.
Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own.
Tell me more about yourself.
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
How did you come to the Dalish if you were so young? Did you
My
run or...?
parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
I'm sorry, it must have been horrible.
It was. Though long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
You said that the Dalish rescued you from bandits?
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there, and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me, the fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
I'm not going to ask about her family, 'cause, you know, I doubt it. I doubt she'd want to now. We know why the Dalish are hostile, let's not ask that. So, what does the Keeper do exactly then?
A keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever, so the clan protects him like no other.
Okay, so what can you tell me about Zathrian?
Nothing that you could not ask Zathrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
Lost much? What has he lost?
He lost his family a very long time ago. I don't know the story, but I understand the circumstances were horrific.
Well then I should go then.
As you wish. Darth Shiro.
I'm not going to say that, hey, he wants to talk to you. That's obviously a thing to get into that chest. But, you know, I'm not that bothered about the chest. I do have a lot of stuff. Let's have a look at this. Andruel, the goddess of the hunt. And Sylvi, the Hearthkeeper. Sylvi, the Hearthkeeper, is seen as the sister of Andruel, the Huntress. While Andruel is loved to run with the creatures of the wild, Sylvi preferred to stay by a home tree, occupying herself with gentle arts and songs. It is Sylvi who gave us fire and taught us how to use it. It is Sylvi who showed us how to heal with herbs and with magic, and how to ease the passage of infants into this world. And again, it is Sylvi who showed us how to spin the fibres of plants into thread and rope. We owe much to Sylvi, and that is why we sing to her when we kindle the fires and when we put them out. That is why we sprinkle our aravels with Sylvi's fragment tree moss, and ask that she protect them and all within, as told by Gisrael, keeper of the Ralafarin clan of the Dalish Elves. Andruel, goddess of the hunt, hear me, sons and daughters of the people. I am sister of the moon, mother of hares, lady of the hunt, Andruel. Remember my teachings, remember the Tanadhal, the way of the 3 trees that I have given you. Asan, the way of the arrow, be swift and silent, strike true, do not waver, and let not your prey suffer. This is my way. Berasan, the way of the bow, as the sapling bends, so must you. In yielding find resilience, in pliancy find strength. That is my way. Adalan, the way of the wood. Receive the gifts of the hunt with mindfulness. Respect the sacrifice of my people. Know that your passing shall nourish them in turn. That is my way. Remember the way to the hunter, and I shall always be with you. From the charge of Andruel, goddess of the hunt. Okay. I think I talked to you. Let's go talk to Mithra. Hey Mithra. I don't think there's anything else that way. Let's have a...
Yeah,
Nope.
Look at this.
Oh.
Do you know what this is?
Is that a rose?
I picked it in Lothering. I remember thinking, how could something so beautiful exist in a place with so much despair?
Is this flirting? Are you flirting?
I probably should have left it alone, but I couldn't. The Darkspawn would come and their taint would just destroy it. So I've had it ever since.
That's a nice sentiment.
I thought that I might give it to you, actually. In a lot of ways, I think the same thing when I look at you.
Ooh. I don't want to be mean about it. That he could not be flirting. So thank you, Arthur. That's a lovely thought.
I'm glad you like it. I was just thinking, here I am doing all this complaining.
Yeah, he's just an awkward friend.
You haven't exactly been having.
If he comes out and says it, I'll just say I'm sorry.
You've had none of the good experience of being a Grey Warden since you're joining. Not a word of thanks or congratulations. It's all been death and fighting and tragedy. I thought maybe I could say something. Tell you what a rare and wonderful thing you are to find amidst all this darkness.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not interested, Alistair, I'm sorry.
Well, you can't blame me for trying, can you?
Sorry.
Just forget I said anything. We have.
I appreciate the sentiment. That is such a nice thing to say. It's a lovely thing to say, and now I feel so...
I trust there are no hard feelings about my question.
Oh no, that's fine.
We Dalish must protect ourselves from trouble at all times.
That was such a lovely conversation. If I hadn't already been, like, romancing Liliana, I would definitely go there. I'd, like, completely flip 180. Yeah, I understand.
Had we known a Grey Warden was coming, We might have arranged a different reception. But I wish you good fortune with your task. Dareth Shiral.
Oops. Okay, so hello. Valathorn.
What are you doing? You've warped the wood completely. Did you leave it out in the rain?
No, Master Varathorn. I think I just used too much heat.
You're not smelting ore like a Durgenlin. This is living wood. It requires patience and delicate hands, not more heat.
My actions bring me sorrow, Master Varathorn.
And so they should. Truly the art will be lost to us forever at this rate. Throw away your dead wood and start anew, and I shall speak to our guest. You're most welcome here, stranger. Is there anything I might do to help you in your task?
What exactly do you make here? Just the bows?
I'm the clan's craftsmaster. It's my responsibility to learn what I can of the ancient elven arts of shaping wood and ore. In truth, we Dalish know little of the art compared to what we once did. And even what we know has taken us many lifetimes to achieve. There is wood that, if treated properly, is as hard as steel but far lighter. It grows only in this forest. Ironbark. The keeper has forbidden us from entering the forest to collect the wood. This means I cannot make our finest crafts for years to come.
Yep, that's a shame. You know, there's nobody here that's going into the woods in a minute. What if I found some ironbark for you?
I would be hesitant to ask it of you, but if you should come across ironbark, I suppose there would be no harm in gathering some. It is blue and very distinctive. You can only harvest the bark which has fallen off the tree from age. Now, if you find some, bring it to me, and I will craft it for you.
Oh. What kind of item would you make?
I excel in making blades from the ironbark, or perhaps a breastplate.
Blade would
provided
be cool.
there's enough wood, that is.
Very well, I'll take a look when I'm in the forest.
That would please me. So long as our hunters
Of course.
come first.
I would like to barter with you, if that's possible.
I am no merchant, but let us trade. Perhaps there's something here which will be of value to you.
Well, I can already see potions. Here, let me sell some of this stuff that I stole from you guys. That I looted. Oh, let me not sell Morgan. I didn't realize I still had Morgan's things. I didn't even look at any of these. I was just like, yeah, let me get rid of the weapons and soldier speak. So we've got... Let me take them. Let me take some of them. Let me take them. Because we got tons of gold now. We got 123. So a greater injury kit. What is greater? How many times do you think I'm gonna fall in battle? So let's get the Lyrian potions as well. Oh, backpack! 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 Oh, how did I... Okay. So this is use this term to give the reader 1 point to spend on a skill. And points on attributes. How? Why not? There we go. What else? Do we have crafting? Ooh, we've got some health potion. Hell yeah. So, great. What was that? Well, we'll find out in a minute. Do I need that one? I don't really need that one. I think we need these. And is it corruptor? And distillation. And ooh. Excellent. How many toxin extracts did I need? Just a second, let me come out of here. New quest rare ironbark. Let me have a look. I'm sure one of these had club skull. $15 toxin extract samples in thingy. So let me have a look. Do I have any toxic extracts? No, because I keep using them, don't I? Where's Win? Let me have a look at thingy. So we've got a greater health poultice. Hell yeah. And we can come here to buy more elf food because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe
It is good to see you again. Have you need of something?
it was 99 or something,
I am
wasn't
no
it?
merchant, but let us trade. Perhaps there's something
Yes,
here which will
yes,
be of value
yes,
to you.
yes. So I will come here, I will get some of these. Get about 20 or so. Yeah, we can get like as many as we need now. Like 99 is just 59, so let's just get 59. Because now I can just... Oh, no. Let me move that over there. And pop haste there. Oh shoot. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted now. So let me look. Greater. Health. Lesser. Greater. Normal. Lesser. And this one is... Yeah, I could make like 13 of them. So excellent. Can I have something in your crate? I am now very aware that somebody could just be like, no. Piles of scrolls, the long walk.
Going.
From Dirthaman, Keeper of Secrets. The twins, Falandin and Dirthaman, are the eldest children of Elginar the Allfather and Mithil the Protector. The brothers were inseparable from the moment of their conception, known for their great love for each other. That is why we often speak of Falandin in one breath and Dirthaman in the next, for they cannot bear to be apart, not even in our tales. When the world was young, the gods often walked the earth, and Falandin and Dirthaman were no exceptions. Both were delighted by the many wonders of our earth. They played with the animals, whispered to the trees, and bathed in the lakes and streams. Their days were filled with bliss, and they did not know sorrow. And then one day, while passing through the forest, Falandin and Dirthaman came across an old and sickly deer resting beneath a tree. "Why do you sit so still, little sister?" asked Falandin. "Play with us," said Dirthaman. "Alas," spoke the deer, "I cannot. I am old, and although I wish to go to my rest, my legs can no longer carry me." Taking pity on the deer, Falandin gathered her up into his arms and carried her to a rest beyond the vale. Dirthaman tried to follow them, but the shifting grey path beyond the vale would not let him. Separated for the first time from Falandin, Dirthaman wandered aimlessly till he came across two ravens. "You are lost, and soon you will fade," the raven named Fear said to Dirthaman. "Your brother has abandoned you. He no longer lives to you," said the other, named Deceit. "I am not lost, and Falandin has not abandoned me," replied Dirthaman. He subdued the ravens and bade them carry him to Falandin. This they did, for they had been defeated and were now bound to Dirthaman's service. When Dirthaman found Falandin, he found also the deer, who once again was light on her feet, for her spirit was released from her weakened body. Both Falandin and Dirthaman rejoiced to see this. Falandin voiced vowed that he would remain to carry all the dead to their place beyond, just as he did for the deer, and Dirthaman stayed with him, for the twins could not bear to be apart. From the story of Falandin and Dirthaman, as told by Gisharel, the keeper of Ralpharan clan of the Dalish Elves. And then we've got the long walk. When our people left Devinter, we had nothing except the knowledge that for the first time in countless centuries, we were free. It was Shartan's dream that one day we would have our own homeland, where we could live as we chose. After the long struggle that claimed the lives of many, even Shartan himself, we were granted the Dales, and though the Dales were south of the land of Orlais, and a long way off from Tevinter, it mattered little. We were going home, and so we walked. We called our journey the Long Walk, for that was what it was. We walked with what little we had on our backs. Some walked without shoes, so they had none. Whole families, women with infants, the old and young alike, all of them made their way across the land on foot, and if one of our people could no longer walk, we carried him, or sometimes left him behind. Many perished along the way. Some died of exhaustion, others simply gave up and fell by the wayside. A great number were set upon by human bandits, even though we had few possessions. Along the way, a growing number began to bemoan the decision to leave Tevinter. At least in Tevinter, they said, we had food and water and shelter. What do we have here? Nothing but the open sky and the prospect of the never-ending road ahead. Some turned back to Tevinter, but most of us continued walking. And the gods rewarded those of us who did not waver by bringing us to the Dales. Our people called the new city Halam Shiral, the end of the journey, and for a time it was home, as told by Gisharel, keeper of the Ralpharan clan of the Dalish Elves. Okay. So, there's a hunter there. There's, a big ass chest there. Can you open the big ass chest? Ooh, I see a love letter. Probably down at the bottom. Think it might be this. Dear Sir John, your ministrations, while well-intentioned, hold no promise. Do not despair, for it is not you, it is of me. I require an interval to acquaint myself with the personage you awakened. I am certain we can maintain an amiable accord, and that engagements with our mutual associations will not be awkward. Mary. Oh, the old, it's not me, it's you. No, it's not you, it's me. Scout's bow. So, okay, we've done all up here. Let's come down here.
There are places where those horns bring huge prices. Can cure diseases,
Oh, those
so they
horns
say.
are nice. Why would you say that in their A-shot, Alistair? Seriously. Yeah. Gillanane, mother of the Halla. They say Gillanane was one of the people in the days before Arthlan, and the chosen of Andrul the Huntress. She was very beautiful, with hair of snowy white, and as graceful as a gazelle. She kept always to Andrul's ways, and Andrul favoured her above all others. One day, while hunting in the forest, Gillanane came across a hunter she did not know. At his feet lay a hawk, shot through the heart by an arrow. Gillanane was filled with rage, for the hawk, along with the hare, is an animal much beloved of Andrul. Gillanane demanded that the hunter make an offering to Andrul in exchange for taking the life of one of her creatures. The hunter refused, and Gillanane called upon the goddess to curse him so that he could never again hunt and kill a living creature. Gillanane's curse took hold, and the hunter found he was unable to hunt. His prey would dart out of sight, and his arrows would fly astray. His friends and family began to mock him for his impotence, for what use is a hunter who cannot hunt? Ashamed, the hunter swore he would find Gillanane and repay her for what she had done to him. He found Gillanane while she was out on a hunt with her sisters, and lured her away from them with lies and false words. He told Gillanane that he had learned his lesson and begged her to come with him, so she could teach him the proper ways to make a proper offering to Andrul. Moved by his plea, plea, Galanan followed the hunter, and when they were away from all of their sisters, the hunter turned on Galanan. He blinded her first, and then bound her as one would bind a kill fresh from the hunt. But because he was cursed, the hunter could not kill her. Instead, he left her for dead in the forest. And Galanan prayed to the gods for help. He prayed to Elganan for vengeance, to Mother Mythal to protect her, but above all she prayed to Andrul. Andrul sent her hairs to Galanan, and they chewed through the ropes that bound her. But Galanan was still wounded and blind, and could not find her way home. So Andrul turned her into a beautiful white deer, the first Hala, and Galanan found her way back to her sisters and led them to the hunter who was brought to justice. And since that day the Hala have guided the people and have never led us astray, for they listen to the voice of Galanan. From the tale of Galanan, as told by Gishuel, keeper of the Valfren clan of the Dalish Elves. Okay. Hello, Alora.
Who comes? Oh, I beg your pardon, stranger. I was so busy attending to the Hala, I did not hear your approach.
Okay. Who are you then?
My name is Alora. I am the Master Herder in charge of caring for the Hala. Not as exciting as being a Grey Warden, but the Hala are vital to us.
Do you think being a Grey Warden is exciting?
Not as much as I assumed you thought my task boring in comparison. Am I wrong?
If that makes you a shepherd, then no, you're not.
I am more than a simple shepherd. True animal husbandry requires many long years of training, especially with our Hala. But I take no offense. In truth, my place as the Master Herder is a small one, but one I am quite satisfied with. Would that we could all find such peace with our lot in life.
So what is a Hala then?
They are the noble beasts that pull our Aravel, what humans call landships. They are our companions and our guides.
They're not mounts? Oh, let's actually say we have nothing similar in Orzammar except the Bronto.
I have heard of the Bronto. They are beasts of burden, yes? The Hala are not like that. We ride the Hala, but never with reins or a saddle. It is the Hala who decide where to lead us, and our privilege that they take our Aravel with them. In return, it's the herder's job to speak to the Hala and care for their needs. It's a bond of friendship and not servitude.
I definitely agree with that, with what you're saying. I don't think dwarves would ever do anything like that. You know, it's a whole pyramid. You know, there's a guy on top, then there's the nobles, and there's warriors, and there's the smiths, then there's the castlers. You know, there's never equal things. So why have you separated this one from the others?
I fear she may have been bitten during the werewolf attack. I have tried speaking with her, but she is too agitated for me to understand. The curse would not affect her as it would us, but it would still be lethal, and it may prove contagious to the other Hala as well. I can find no wound on her, but if she's truly ill, then I will have to put her out of her misery, for her sake as well as that of the others.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't know. Do you have any skills that might help her? If you do, I would be grateful.
Do I have survival? I guess I do. Survival tried to calm the Hala.
No. No, I'm sorry. She isn't calming any more around you than she is for me.
Try to examine it. I don't think I have survival.
And? What do you think?
I truly cannot tell.
I am glad you attempted it regardless.
I should go.
I will watch her for a while longer and see if her condition changes.
Did I give somebody survival?
For your assistance, friend.
So the Hala. No creature is more revered by the Dalish than the Hala. No other animal has a god of its own. These white stags are much larger than ordinary deer, and the Dalish Hala creepers carve their antlers as they grow, making them curve into intricate designs. In ancient times, these for 11 elven knights into combat, but since the fall of the Dales they used less as mounts and more to pull the Aravels. So Aravels, the Dalish who band together in small groups of blood relatives, travel in ornately carved wagons known as Aravel, drawn by large white stags called Hala. The Aravel are a unique sight, beautiful in their swooping curvature and adorned with broad hoods and bright silken cloths that flap in the wind, often displaying the noble banners that once flew over that family's house. Most humans refer to the Aravels as landships, for in a strong wind it can often appear as if the elves travel in long boats with sails high overhead to announce their arrival or warn others away. The Hala are unique to the elves, and any but elven handlers consider them ornery and almost impossible to train. To the Dalish they are noble beasts, superior in breeding to the horse. Certainly most humans would agree that the Hala are as beautiful as the elves themselves. The fact that many imperial nobles maintain a bounty on Hala horns that find their way into Tevinter is an affront to the Dalish. Consider unforgivable. Few of us can claim to have seen Dalish landships up close. Any human who sees them on the horizon does well to head the other way. Few Dalish clans take kindly to humans intruding on their camps, and more than one tale tells of troublemaking humans who found themselves mercilessly filled with Dalish arrows. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genevieve. So I've got the quest, so she's... Great to survival skill would likely be needed to tell for certain. Like I said, did I even have any... I'll get there eventually. No. I gave somebody survival, right? I don't remember who I gave it to. Well, we'll find out. We'll come back. It's not completely finished yet, is it? Okay, so is there anything else? Or was that the last? There's nothing up here. Well, there's an elf route around the corner. Don't mind if I do. In fact, never mind. I will try, because I can change the part 2 right now, can't I? So, bye. I don't think I would have given it to you. So it's probably Severin, Shale instead.
Yes.
Let me have a look. Skills. Oh, some people can level up, so let me level these guys up. Dexterity and a cunning. No, but I could do survival at the moment. Oh, why am I doing that when I can just do it later? Let me pop that in there. Just having a look at them first, just in case. Then Sten. None of them told me, so Sylvi, Severin, Shale, Sten. Did I give it to Ogwen? Did I give it to nobody? I could have given it to nobody.
Pigeon crap. Vashaden.
Indeed.
Let me bring Severin back though. Just in case I didn't give it to anybody. I don't think I gave anyone survival now that I'm thinking about it. I think I gave somebody trap making. So I was like, oh, well, traps, huh? Where did that go? There we go. Let me have a look. Skills. Yeah, I gave Ogwyn trap making. So let's see if Zevran is any help with just a bit of survival, huh? Let me see. Hi.
Come to check on my Hala and
I have. Is there anything I can do?
No. Do you have any skills that might help her? If you do, I would be grateful.
Try to calm her. No.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
she
well.
isn't calming any more around you than she is for me.
Then I'm sorry I tried my best.
It was kind of you to try.
I should go.
I will watch her for a while longer and
I've
see
still
if her
got a little
condition
bit more
changes.
time, maybe.
I am grateful for your assistance, friend.
Okay.
Let's get on with it then.
But that also reminds me, I picked up some books, didn't I? So let me use the book. And then use the other book. Which I don't think does anything to this. Oh, it does. Oh, I'll have to have a think of that. But okay. So I think that's everywhere we've looked now. Maybe. I don't think there's anything else. What is this? I'll just put this on.
Yes.
Ah, we had Alganar, God of Vengeance. Okay. So, last codex. Elganan, the God of Vengeance. Long ago, when time itself was young, the only things in existence were the sun and the land. The sun, curious about the land, bowed his head close to her body, and Elganan was born in the place where they touched. The sun and the land loved Elganan greatly, for he was beautiful and clever. As a gift to the Elganan, the land brought forth great birds and beasts of the sky and forest, all manner of wonderful green things. Elganan loved his mother's gifts and praised them highly as he walked among them often. The sun, looking down upon the fruitful land, saw the joy that Elganan took in her works and grew jealous. Out of spite, he shone his face upon all the creatures that the earth had created and burned them all to ashes. The land cracked and split from bitterness and pain, and cried salt tears for the loss of all she had wrought. The pool of tears cried for the land became the ocean, and the cracks in her body the first rivers and streams. Elganan was furious at what his father had done, and vowed vengeance. He lifted himself into the sky and wrestled the sun, determined to defeat him. They fought for an eternity, and eventually the sun grew weak, while Elganan's rage was unabated. Eventually Elganan threw the sun down from the sky and buried him in a deep abyss created by land's sorrow. With the sun gone, the world was covered in shadow, and all that remained in the sky were the reminders of Elganan's battle with his father, drops of the sun's lifeblood, which twinkled and shimmered in the sky. From the tale of Elganan and the sun, as told by Gisharo, keeper of the Ralphian clan of the Dalish Elves. Okay. So, I think we will call this episode to an end now. We've explored the entire camp. What's that one? Is that the world travel? Yep. So yeah, we've explored the camp. Next episode we will head into the head into the forest. Hopefully we can help that Hala, but if not we might need to put it down, which I am loath to do. But I've got a little bit of stuff that I could do. I've got a skill. Maybe improve survival could help. I don't know. We will see. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.